Welcome back, League fanboys and fangirls, to our premiere episode of the summer split. We're going to kick it off with our predictions, and this is Running Down Mid. As always, I am Exile, and with me is my right-hand man, Funzy, and let's just go off of our fucking pick. You pick your picks first. You
say put the pressure on me, huh?
Well,
you're gonna dissect what I have to think, huh? You're gonna break it down? Yeah. Well, I think it's safe to say, just like I called in spring, TSM is going to be number one. Let's just go ahead and agree to say that that's probably going to happen. I don't see second place being any different. I think C9 will clinch the second place. I do think that P1 will only improve. They already have a strong bot lane. The meta being more ADC focused coming into summer after the midseason. I think that you're going to see Phoenix retain the third spot and keep going. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and just say Dig, Immortals, FlyQuest. And those could be interchangeable, really, with probably Dig being the strongest of those three. But FlyQuest and Immortals are going to be thrown up in the air. I think the roster changes with Immortals is going to help. FlyQuest, same thing. I think that's going to help them too. And then the two that I think are going to squeak out of relegations, CLG and TL. Those are going to be the two that I think are going to get through. No problems. And then, of course, Echo Fox and Envy are hands down my two bottom tier. You're going to get relegated. Please don't suck.
All right, so we're agreeing on almost very little this time around, like literally very little. Of course, with it being preseason and the season hasn't started yet, I'm obviously going to be the C9 fanboy and say that for once, like, golly, I am getting tired of beaten by TSM, so I really hope that C9 puts it together and wins this time around. TSM's my number two. Obviously, either one of those teams are interchangeable. Before, I used to think that we had like three top teams interchangeable, but CLG made some moves that I just honestly I don't agree with and think that they're going to suffer from that. So I'm going to go C9 TSM. My number three team, though, I think it's going to be Dignitas for me, only because after they made the change to the coach and Cop came in, they had like the strongest last push, and I think that their room for improvement is going to upend Phoenix 1. I put Phoenix 1 down because I'm not confident with their team comp. They still have Meteos on the books. Granted, hopefully they're not going to have the bad blood between their support and their, maybe they don't have those troubles, but I feel like when a player shows mental weakness, like, in fighting, like Anori had on his team and stuff, like, I don't know if you can break out of that so soon. So I'm putting P1 at my fourth pick, but it's really a tentative fourth because right now I think P1 and Immortals are very interchangeable for me. Immortals is a very good team. They have a very solid team, and I think picking up Smithy as their jungle, he's not a carry jungle, and he's not a great, super awesome kill crazy jungle, but he's a good team player, a good facilitator. He used to play with Pobelter.
Voice of reason.
I think that they are going to link up, and he's really going to funnel a lot of action towards mid. Flame top, I think the team's really, really strong. They got Stuntopolis as a sub for support. I mean, Ole's their support, Stunt, yeah. But I think Stunt leaving a team where he was a starter to say that, yeah, I'll be a sub, shows how much confidence he has in that team.
He probably feels he can learn something from Ole too.
I honestly think that Stunt's a great support. I have high hopes for Immortals, so I really going to put them at my tied for fourth with P1. Then a team that I trashed, I think every week last season was Team Liquid. I want 4G to do really, really well. Like, I want Golden Glue to do really, really well. And because I want 4G to succeed, because he went through so much to better himself. And I want to see that.
You want to see it pay off.
I do. I want to see hard work come to fruition. I want some guy
I can't believe you would sit here and say, "Yeah, let's gamble again on the rookie after he goes and spends a few months playing in Korea."
He gambled on himself, and I like that.
I like that too, but this isn't the Miracle on Ice, you know.
And you never know. And I feel like you're going to be eating crow later on this year when TL makes it into, when they make it because
when they go on to Worlds and they get out of groups and they're playing in the semifinals.
So Piglet is a world champion. He is going to be back at ADC. The meta shift where ADC is focused. I don't know what they're going to do about support. I mean, God, if they throw Matt out there, whatever.
The simple fact that he didn't play ADC makes me worried for him because that shows that he's bored.
No,
he's bored in his spot.
No, I think he's... So TL is going to round off my team. Then it's going to be FlyQuest. I feel like adding Wild Turtle is a detriment to the team and not an improvement. I'm so sorry, Wild T. I even picked him up on my fantasy team because, I mean, you never know. If he gets the points, he gets the points. But I don't think it's going to be enough.
Maybe having somebody like Hyde tell you what to do throughout the whole game improved you. Hey. It worked for the jungle. I'm just saying. You take Moon and you tell him what to do the whole game. Guess what? You've got yourself a world class.
But they still have Alltech on the team, so too many questions with FlyQuest. Echo Fox,
and it still showed Alltech as a starter, by the way,
and it did. So Alltech is actually technically still the starter. So FlyQuest is going to be bumped down a lot. Then I have Echo Fox, which everybody. Vegas, everybody picks Echo Fox to be dead last. Nobody likes their move, even me personally. I don't like their move of them just screaming against Delta Fox, which is an awesome name for a team.
Echo Fox and Delta Fox are really two good names.
No, they're just really good names, and
especially when you know they're really being named after their own.
Yeah, Rick Fox. It's just awesome. Anyways, they're picked to just scrim just their teams.
We'll get to that.
We argue about that a lot, but I don't think that they're going to be last place. I honestly think that my last place team is going to be Envy, like they were last year. I don't think that they've done enough or will do enough. Granted, they're going to have Lyra in place the whole time. There's no 4 weeks off. And so he's been playing. So, and they came out of relegation. So, I mean, maybe he can produce something out of that. I just don't think there's enough around him to make it matter. And then I honestly think that CLG is going to be my 9th place team because, and I loved CLG, but picking up Dardoch,
the wolf in sheep's clothes. You think he's going to tear that team apart?
I think it's such a bad idea. I honestly, his way that he operates and his voice clashing with Afromu, I think it's going to cause so much team turmoil. And I honestly don't think that they. I don't even know if he's going to make it through the whole split. But if he does, I picked them to be. If Dardoch is on the team week 10 or whatever the last week is for Summer Split, then CLG is my 9th pick. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I highly doubt it. They
struggled.
Team.
I mean, all last split anyways. They struggled.
Well, they produced like they normally do. Like they tried to mull around.
Like they normally.
Well, they mulled around middle of the pack and then tried to come on at the end. But you had so many other teams
that were
coming on at the end. And it was too little, too late. They can't do that this time around. And I just think Dardoch's way too volatile. He is so good and so bad at the same time. Like, good play skills, bad team player. And it's just I don't see them picking up. So I mean, I honestly think it's going to be C9, TSM, Dignitas, P1, or Immortals. I actually want to throw Immortals instead of P1. But then TL, FlyQuest, Echo Fox, CLG, and Envy. And I honestly think that my sleeper picks are. I think Immortals is going to do a lot better than people give them credit. And I gotta really hope that TL does a lot. I want to see them back to their 4th place team.
Here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say it right now. The 3 teams that are going on to Worlds, TSM, C9, P1. I'm saying it right now. I'm calling it. Those are going to be our representatives at the end of summer.
I honestly hope that if God, we'll get to that when we get closer to Worlds, because right now I'm so down on NA. I'm really hoping that they do the Rift Rivals and just crush EU, because if they don't, man, my heart's gonna be broken. I'll cry. I'll shave my head bald. I don't know what I'll do, but I mean, I'm gonna have me a breakdown moment. So, jeez.
Well, there you have it. You have our picks for summer, and obviously, let us know what you think, because everybody's got their say. Everybody has their hometown favorites.
Yeah, every fanboy's gonna pick their guy first, but I mean, after that, like let's be real. I mean, honestly, if you don't pick C9 or TSM, you that's dumb.
You're just wrong.
Dumb. You're just wrong. Seriously, you are. Just pay attention.
Well, let's go ahead and kind of give a quick once over everything that has changed that we're going to see take to the Rift for summer. I want to jump into the new tank items. What do you think that's going to do to the top lane? What do you think it's going to do towards how team fights are going to play out?
So obviously we already saw a little bit of that MSI. It wasn't a full carryover, but now that they have the updated patch for their big updated patch for this summer split is, obviously, everybody knows, it's the tank update. You have your 3 big tanks that they changed, some other little fidgety things in there, and then a bunch of new tank items. And to be honest, I think we're going to see a lot of double tank teams. You might get if you can,
like
depending
on the tank, and a top tank, or a jungle tank.
So you're gonna see probably like a top and jungle tank, or somebody that's hybrid that could be either carry or tank, like a Kled or Camille or something like that. But you're gonna see, and if you don't go for a tank top, then I honestly think you're gonna see a tank support. I think that the mage supports, the poke supports, the Karmas and the Lulu shield supports, I really think that those are going to be out. Maybe not so much Karma, because she has a lot of team synergistic ability with her shields being spread, but definitely not going to see.
I mean,
I just don't think that you're going to see enough of the Lulu. Only because assassinations aren't that big. So you don't need to throw that ult on somebody to save them from being assassinated, because right now I honestly think that we're going to see so much more Sejuani, Galio, Gragas, Zac. Like, I feel like those guys are going to become playing big. You're not going to have your heavy hitters mid. I honestly think that you're going to see more of Talia, Talia, or however you say her name, mid. The Stone Girl, she's going to be like crazy. And then I think because if you see her more, you're going to see more Rise, a lot more control mages. I think Riot for the last year and a half have been pushing the game to be team synergistic. They have flex queue in because they want people to play as a team. You have these characters that are great solo queue, but they don't carry over into the LCS. They don't carry over into team play, because you can't have that one man carry anymore. It's all team synergistic. So you're gonna have Caitlyn ADCs or Lucian ADCs. No more of the Varus or the Ashe. I think Ashe will get played still, just because of picks and bans, how they break down, and her pick ability. But I think because of
God tier is definitely Caitlyn.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely. And if you see a Lucian, you pair him with a Braum, and that's great. You have a Braum and Sejuani, and you can just overlap these CCs, and just it's a lot. A Leona might show up in the Rift. Obviously, Gragas could go anywhere. You could have him as support. You could have him as jungle. You could have him as top lane. Galio could be support, mid lane, top lane. Like, you have all these big pieces, big guys that I honestly think that the quick get her done, quick games, 20 minutes in and out, are dying, and now it's going to be 40 minutes.
Well, we didn't see a whole lot of quick games in spring. I mean, we saw a few 24-minute.
A few, but I mean, you had a lot of
like so far.
You had a lot of Kha'Zix, Rengars like picking it up like crazy, and then it slowly shifted to a lot more. Lee Sins
and then
it
was all like 28.
But now I really feel like it's going to be Elise's, Zac's, Sejuani's.
I want to say Elise is definitely still going to be God tier, just because she has good disengage and engage.
Exactly, and you see
stun.
You see MSI where Galio is just rolling a rolling set of buffs and a rolling set of stats, and he's unkillable. Gragas is so good. people don't respect the damage, the positioning, the stun, the disengage, the engage. Like, I mean, he's a huge champion, and just it's
the disruption he can add to a fight is just it's on.
And with these new items and stuff, it's just different. I love the new items for supports because it really helps out roam supports. So roaming, you're not going to get punished as much for roaming as much anymore. And I think, like,
at least that way we know for a reason that Biofrost should be warding more instead of
just getting caught in lane. But I mean, you see those guys. I think Thresh will make a big comeback because of his utility as a team and his tankiness. Like, just there's so much utility in him. I think we're going to see a lot more Thresh come back. Now that may wane towards the end of the split, as it always does, and I'm sure that they'll drop a big patch right before Worlds like they always do, because they want these teams to enter in and adapt to the new patches. But right now it's heavy tank city, and that's going to punctuate more on what your ADC picks, because crit builds are dying, so it's all about tank shredding, keeping alive, longevity. So I mean, there's a lot more utility being put out there, and I think that's what we're going to see this season. And if teams can't adapt to that, you're going to get crushed, TSM, if you can't play Gragas or play against him.
I definitely can see that Galio is definitely going to be played a lot more, especially in top lane. He should be the number one ban or number one pick
every time,
depending on what you're going for. And if you let him through and he somehow picked up towards the end and you didn't ban him, shame on you.
Seriously, because it's so hard. He has so much wave push, so he can win his lane in CS easy.
And so much range,
and then so much buffs.
And then
he has a gap closer,
and then that's the damage reduction.
The taunt adds damage reduction.
Global. His ult get from one place to another.
His ult to roam mid and help seal up mid. So think if he just pushes. They get a kill under tower with jungle's help. Then jungle's free to counter jungle. He roams mid. They clear up that, and then automatically go to Rift Herald. Like, super hard. I
100% agree with you.
Super hard. So I mean, it's gonna be tough, and I think top lane's become more important than jungle. And I think mid's ability to help facilitate.
I think it has,
huge.
Especially with the Rift Herald now. Yeah. You're going to see jungles try to prioritize top instead of prioritizing the dragon down bot. So I'm excited to see how some of these top laners can hold up to that.
Me too. So, obviously the key number one game this weekend.
Yeah, the game of the week is
C9 versus TSM Saturday. So,
every split's got to start off the same way.
It's always got to start off. It starts and ends the exact same way, except for the opposite team always wins. So hopefully C9 loses this Saturday and wins in the finals. I would be okay with that.
I'm going to say that it's going to be a 2-1. TSM's going to win, and they're going to give up the first game. And they're going to win the next two.
I don't know. I with Doublelift being back. Man, I just really feel like TSM's going to gel. I think they're going to have a huge chip on their shoulder for failing again on a world stage. I mean, they lost our first round bye, so I mean, North America already going into Worlds is going to have a huge hurdle getting out of groups, because we will be against some other countries number one. You can even actually end up having two North American teams in one group because we don't have a guaranteed seat. So, man, us getting out of groups Worlds this year is going to be hard, and that's all TSM's fault.
Let's focus on what's going to happen this split, because let's see if we can get a team that can do good.
God, I know, right? So that's what we have going on. Obviously, we'll be back every week, same time, same bat channel, always. But man, I'm looking forward to this split. I'm so glad that it's back. The league's back, man. God, I've been bored. So I'm super happy. I also want to note that if anybody's been paying attention, already to start off the summer, SKT is defeated. Haven't won a game yet because they got rickrolled by Samsung hardcore. Using the picks that we just talked about. The Galios, the Gragases, the Talia's mids were all outplaying that SKT action. So they're already in the dumps after winning MSI. They just came back and
maybe they didn't get enough of a break. You know, that was a lot of games for them.
It was a lot. It was a lot of games, but we'll keep you updated on the SKT action.
Well, good game.
No, as always, man. Good game. GG.